All right. It is about 1 minute to 5 o'clock, and we're going to get started here shortly. So I'm just going to make sure I'm actually live in the group, and I am. So it is Setting the Bar Saturdays, Conversations with Bar Setters. I am Dr. Darlene, for those that do not know me, Dr. Darlene Beck. I am the proud owner of Setting the Bar LLC, which was established as a company May 30th, 2018. We are a consulting company where the mission is pretty much to help others reach their full potential, whether it's in health, education, spirit, finances, community relationships, personal development, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We truly believe that individuals have the power to change the narrative of their life, and now that's that God-given power. That's where that's the power I'm talking about. That God-given power, we have it to change the narrative of our lives by setting the bar. So you can find me www.settingthebarllc.org. That is the website to check out our services. Currently, we are offering coaching sessions or consultations, I like to call them, whether it's business or whatever area you feel stagnated in. We are here to assist you to move you from stagnation to manifestation. So check us out. Our newest service that we now offer is boundaries coaching sessions. Yes, boundaries coaching sessions. Some people just don't know how to set a healthy boundary, and not having healthy boundaries in place can stagnate people from reaching their full potential. And to commemorate that service, we did develop boundaries paraphernalia. So please check that out. Um, how can you connect with us? We are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and this segment will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So look for Setting the Bar, like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest, all things Setting the Bar. So again, for those that are tuning in and will watch this broadcast later or the replay, I truly thank you for taking this journey with me, being a part of Setting the Bar. Thank you for supporting this business. It is greatly appreciated. But so we're here tonight talking about conversations with bar setters, Setting the Bar Saturdays. Why did I start this? Well, we have some amazing people right here in our community and beyond. And I just wanted to take time out to have a conversation with them to talk about their journey and their process of setting the bar. A lot of times when you enter into a person's life, depending on what chapter you entered in, you may just entered in during the outcome. But let's take time to learn about the process. Sometimes through others' experience and even through our own experience is where we learn the biggest lessons. So tonight we're going to be talking to Miss Iberia, Brandi Iberia of the Saved in the City Christian Network. And we're going to be talking to her about her process and her journey in regards to setting the bar. So I'm going to bring her on. I've been knowing Miss Brandi Iberia for some years now. So, and she is going to introduce herself. She is an amazing woman of God, and I'm just so excited that she took time out to be my first guest on tonight. So, Brandi, if you can introduce yourself.
Absolutely. My pleasure. My goodness. First of all, I got to say, Darlene, I am just so proud of you.
Thank
I
you.
mean, talk about me setting the bar. I mean, I'm trying to reach yours. You know, I got my t-shirt.
No.
So my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. And I'm just, I do a lot of different things.
Yes,
And
you do.
I'm always I'm a humble servant. So
Yes.
it's whatever God wants me to do. So whether it's the Saved in the City Christian Network, I got my eyes closed because I think about all the things. Single Talk. What else do we have going on? 365 Days of Loving You. That's my latest book. Gosh, and so on and so forth. It just keeps going and going. And so wherever I can be of service, wherever I can set a standard, that's what I do. And so a lot of people don't know that I started actually as a singer, songwriter, musician.
Right.
That's that started with the setting the bar there. And really, although the stage has changed, my work ethic or the standard that I set for myself and for all of those that come under me or with me or journey through, that never changes.
Right. And I mean, I'm glad that you spoke about setting a standard, because that's pretty much what setting the bar is pretty much setting a standard for yourself, for your life, and being able to position yourself to move towards that standard. A lot of times we're not where we want to be, but if you decide to move towards where you want to go, it is very much possible. So Brandi, take us through what made you decide to change the narrative. A lot of time, what was that epiphany that you saw where it's like, okay, I'm here, I want to move forward. Why did I change the narrative? What was it?
Yeah. Well, I guess, so for me, when you say change the narrative, I guess the way I view that is what made me decide that I even wanted to set a standard in the first place? Like, what was the thing? And then it transitions, kind of as we go. And I think there's a few different reasons why we do that. Sometimes it is a collective reason, sometimes it's a personal reason. I think some of the collective reason is because of what you see. Right. If you don't see something different,
right,
then you very well may not become something different.
And
so one of the things that caused me to change the narrative was because I got to give it to my mom, because she exposed me. I would go places, that, and I might be the only young person there, but I was seeing how corporations work. I was seeing how the back office worked at, these huge conferences, because my mother she was a Baptist preacher. No, she's non-denominational. So I would go, and I wouldn't just be in the congregation. I would see how things work behind the scenes, right? And so that raised my level of understanding of how things worked and flowed. Wow. And so in the same way, as I am a graduate of Howard University. Howard didn't just pop in my mind. I had to see people who graduated or see something. So it's about what you see. And this is something that I always say. I say that if you cannot see it, you have to see it before you can see it, or you never will see it. I'll say it again.
I like that.
I'll say it again to the people in the back. Okay. You got to see it before you can see it, or you never will see it. And so here's the thing, and I almost hear someone saying, but what about those people who never, maybe they have a certain environment where they, maybe you grow up in a certain community and the people around you have not gone above a certain standard or level. Maybe they haven't raised the bar, or their bar is set at a lower level. We live in a virtual world. Get on YouTube, and you'll be surprised. Read a book. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll change your life for sure.
I think that was one of my Wisdom Wednesday's tip about experience, and how sometimes experience, all lessons are not learned in the book. A lot of times the most biggest and pivotal lessons are learned through experiences, and it could be your experience or someone else's experience. So that was very profound what you said, and I really resonate with that. So through your journey, and setting the bar, setting your standard, changing the narrative, everyone's journey is going to be different. We all face different things. So were there any moments on your journey where it was just difficult?
Oh my God.
Moments of difficult. Yeah.
Yes. And still. Okay. So, there's always peaks and valleys, so, sometimes I'm at the mountaintop and sometimes I'm like, my Lord, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, like sometimes it's that way. And so, I think, transitioning from singer, songwriter, musician, because that was where my identity was connected to. I was a secular artist as well. And then changing to a ministry minded path that really had nothing to do with music. That was difficult and different because I knew I was being called to something else. Now, music is still there. And that's the thing I think we have to realize, you know, as people, that God downloads these visions into, that sometimes, I think I kind of said it in the beginning, the stages change.
Yeah.
And, you know, but it's all going to be used for his glory, right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
absolutely.
that was difficult in, okay, now how do I carry myself? And so I had to rebrand completely. Now, I never was ashamed of what, you know, I was like a soul artist, you know, so I was never ashamed of the type of music that I did. Listen, I said my mother was a pastor. She would sometimes be there front row at the club, at the bar. Okay, it's like my baby girl's singing, she's going, you know. So I was always proud of it. But at the same time, when I moved into another level, another positioning, if you will, I didn't want to confuse the folks that were going to be following me in ministry, right? And so I think that is something we have to consider when we shift, that, you know, especially if you consider yourself to be a leader, that now your responsibility goes beyond you.
It's beyond, yes.
It goes
bigger,
beyond
it becomes
you.
bigger than us, yes.
It's so much bigger than us. And so that can be challenging, especially for I'm an only child. Listen, I ain't got no brother, no sister, which means I ain't got no niece, no nephew. I'm not used to having to, you know, usually I take care of my little, I don't, it's me.
It's just
so
you.
Now for me to take on the responsibility of folk I don't even know.
Ooh, it's heavy. It can be heavy.
It can be very heavy, right? But God trusts me with it.
Exactly.
And so because of that, I honor that. So that's always challenging, trying to uphold a standard, not just for yourself, but for those who are watching.
Those who are watching. I mean, you share so many things in that. And what I really got from that is don't be afraid to evolve. We are forever evolving. And yes, so the stage will change, but God's plan doesn't. It's just how it shifts as to how he orchestrates or how he has you carry it out. We'll say
that's so good. So, I love that you said that about that evolution piece, because so many of us, and I think we'll, you know, because we'll drive it home. So many of us we latch our identities to what we do. Right. And so that's where it becomes this challenge to let go. And just go ahead, come on in.
Because I talked about that today, like literally give yourself permission to grow.
Wow.
Give yourself permission to grow. Yes,
and there's fear. There's fear that comes with that, because you don't know what this season looks like. You know, the bar. I'm used to the bar at this level.
Right.
We talk about the bar setting, but we got to also understand that bar levels up.
It does level up, but it level up when you level up.
It levels up when you level up. Right. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. And so that's a challenge. And so when you're on this next level, it may require you to talk different. It may require you to dress different. It may require you to engage differently. You might have a new demographic of people that's attracted to you. I'm used to dealing, I'll keep it transparent. I may be used to dealing with Black people, and now white people are becoming more attracted to me. And that's because God is leveling me up and saying, okay, you've touched them, but I need you. Like, the thing is, God wants us to touch a nation.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that. Like, you want, oftentimes when I've met with clients before, and they want to set the bar in different areas and reach a specific type of clientele, you're going to have to do some different work. You're going to have to do some different work. You know, when you're working with a certain population, paperwork got to be in order. Okay. Yes. They want paperwork. So I definitely hear you on that.
For sure.
Do you have, so with evolving, with going through your process, are there just key things that you did that stands out that, you know, maybe our viewers can take away, maybe they can adapt, just key things that just kind of helped you?
For sure. I talked a little bit about, you know, what I see, you know, so one of the key things is to be intentional about what you're looking at, what you're watching. Be intentional about what you listen to. Be intentional about what you say. I almost want to say that one again. Be intentional about what you say, because this is where the power of life and death lies.
Yes, absolutely.
What are you speaking? Like, this can be a weapon. It can be a tool. It will shape your life. This is a hard pill to swallow, but you are where you are because of what you've spoken.
What you've spoken. Wow.
You know, it's for some people, they're like, well, good. And for other people, they're like, no, I want to blame him, and I want to blame her, and I want to blame mama, and I want to blame dad.
I want to retract.
Yes, I want to retract. Come on.
I want to retract. No. Transparency is some things I want to go back, way back, and retract. Like, come on now. Yeah.
But that's okay. And I think the other part is it's just being open and honest about where you are.
Yeah.
And until you confront, if you can't confront something, it will never change.
That's true.
Right. And so you got to be in the space to deal with your now. Look at where you are sober-mindedly, and then continue to move through. And so as you're moving through, okay, now I'm sober-minded. I see where maybe I could have done this better, where this could have occurred and where that could have occurred. And so now what am I going to do? You got to be intentional about your daily regimen. Before I wake up, I will not answer the phone to any random person that calls if I have not spoken to my Father. And I'm talking about God, okay?
Right.
I got a routine. So I wake up, I'm good morning, God. I invite you into this day. What are we doing today?
Ooh.
He's first.
Right. Absolutely.
He's first. And then after that, then I need to move. I need to breathe. I need to allow my mind to awaken. And when you don't do that, then what ends up happening is what we do is we wake up, we look at our schedule. Oh, I got 5 minutes to do this. No, wake up, set the clock earlier so that you can allow yourself to be present. Yeah. And you'll be surprised what God begins to download.
Absolutely.
Into you as you move throughout your day.
Right.
And so I think those are a couple of the things that I
like
do.
That. I definitely like that. Being intentional, allowing God to download. And what I get from that, know how God communicates with you. Because how he communicates with you is going to be different how he communicates with me. But you got to learn that. And in order to learn that, you got to have relationship. You got to be in communication. So I definitely love that. As you know, like I said, our journeys, everyone's journey will be different. Were there any moments in your journey where you just wanted to stop? And what did you do to keep pressing?
Yes. There's several moments. One moment that comes up in particular was when I was transitioning into Saving the City. I knew God. So again, I don't know if I really explained it thoroughly because I had my eyes closed. I was Saved in the City Christian Network. It is that now. Initially, it just started as Saved in the City. It was a blog. And I had a heart for it to be something where I was going to do like these groups sessions. It was supposed to be just for women. God said, no, it's going to be for everybody. And so it kind of morphed and changed. And I remember when I knew for sure that this was something I was supposed to walk out, I started inviting different people to the table. And then I was going to do kind of an opening event, where I established it and invited people to come out. This is what Saving the City is, and this is how you can plug in, this is how you can support. And for whatever reason, it was like what I was trying to do, there was no provision. Either I didn't have the funding or the money at the time. I think I had a date set, and then they had double booked over me, and they had to move me. It was all of this stuff. I had sent money that I didn't have to. I wrote it was all. And I said, okay, God, this ain't you. Okay, like I'm forcing it. And so I was so frustrated because I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in a space where, you opened your mouth before you should have, and I done told the world, oh, I'm doing this, saving all of that.
You didn't have the baby before it was due.
Okay, all of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got all the clothes and nothing. I ain't even got the husband. Okay, to create the baby. But anyhow, all that being said, I said, okay, I had sent the check, or I sent this check or whatever. And I said, if it goes through or something, and not even in terms of the cash, it was like, I was trying to get it to a particular person. Long story short, I remember because it was a while. This has been, about 5 years ago. They called me and they said, we're going to send you back the check. And that was when I learned about the date not working.
Okay.
So all that being said, that was my cue to say, I'm done.
Okay.
I said, I'm not going to go back and forth with this mess.
Mm-hmm.
And literally 2 days later, I said I was going to go back to doing my regular work, and I would do, so Luminosity Enterprises is the other company that I own, where I do social media marketing, I do PR and whatever. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on where the bills come in, not where I got to, where the money come in.
Where the money
reside.
That's where you
where the money resides. Not where it's going out. Okay. And so I did a press release for a guy, and I was going to pick up a check. Okay. Instead of send it out, I was going to pick up a check. And I happened, and the check where he was happened to be at a radio station. And so when I got there, I was just sitting there, and I said, under my breath, I said, I could do this. And he heard me. I didn't know, even though he was in the room, he was on the other side. And he said, well, really? Okay, well then let's, can you have a show next week? And I said, next week? Long story short, I keep saying short, maybe I say short story long.
Right, that's all right.
Okay, sure.
I'm sure.
This is the conclusion of it though. Because I had been in all that preparation for it. It didn't go how I planned. And then I was done. I threw it away. God said, I never said that you couldn't have it. I said, you can't have it your way.
Your way.
You can have it, but you gonna have it my way.
And
so I'm telling you what ended up happening was a week after I was done with it, I was on the radio with Saved in the City radio show, and that was 5 years ago, and now still 5 years later, we're at a different station, but still prevalent, still growing.
Yes,
just got the call from the Stellar Awards yesterday, and we won't talk about it, but I'm just saying
right now we won't. But
I'm just saying, so yes, have I wanted to give up? Yes. And every time I let it go, God brings it back the way he intended.
The way he intended. Oh my God, so much in that. What I got, okay, so you talked about where you started, and this is key for those that want to change the narrative. You're not always, when you put the work in, you're not always going to be where you are currently at. If you put the work in, and what you said was, God said you can have it, but just not the way you thought you wanted, right?
Not all the time.
Right. And that resonates with me because I've been before God about something. And it was last year he let me know that the desire was mine, but the details belong to him. And I'm like, okay, let me go and shut up then. Okay, Lord, what you gonna do? But so yeah, I definitely resonate with what you're saying. So I gotta ask you something. So and I know the answer because we have that in common, being in communication, being in relationship with God. But I still have to ask you, where do you draw your strength from? What does your village look like? And how do you replenish your cup?
That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah,
so,
I know,
like you said, we are believers. So obviously, Christ in my life is the well that never once runs dry, even when people run dry. Okay, because we're all, they're human, and they can only take, so much. So God is always my source, but He designed us to be social. Right. And so we should despise not the coming together of the brethren, of each other, of my sister, of my brother, of my friend. And so, outside of God, I pull my strength from my sister circle. I got some amazing friends that I can bounce ideas off of that are non-judgmental. And my mom is a huge part of my tribe. And and so I mean, that's it, when it comes down to tangible people. Other than that, I'm telling people, despise not Google and YouTube. Like,
Google and YouTube, y'all heard it.
For sure. Like, when you think about it, you got to find what works for you. I love a Bishop T.D. Jakes, a Stephen Furtick, a Sarah Jakes Robert. They may not work for you. But on the flip side, every now and again, I've listened to a Deepak Chopra or other kinds, or Marianne Williamson, or what have you, depending on what the message is.
Right.
Because I believe that you can glean from other people that have gone where you want to go. So absolutely.
And quite honestly, it helps to build your frequency.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really
And
does
you
help to
realize
build your
the
frequency.
world is so much bigger than you
It
and your
really
little
is.
tiny little beliefs. Okay.
It really is. And I'm glad you mentioned some of the podcasts and some of the people that you do follow. Are there any books that you're reading? Are there anyone that you follow on social media to help add more value to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I'm reaching for my books right here. I just, I am a Bishop T.D. Jakes fan, and that is
Okay.
just that's me. So I got his latest book right here, and it's called, I don't know if you guys can see, it's called
Oh,
Don't Drop the Mic.
don't drop the mic.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people, when you hear Bishop Jakes, most people who are, I guess aren't connected to him, they think preacher. He is
Mhm.
so much more than that. Like
Right.
he is an enterprise. He has an enterprise. I mean, he's a filmmaker, and
Mhm.
he's connected to so much, such a wealth of knowledge. And so,
Mhm.
Don't Drop the Mic is really talking about, we all want these opportunities, but
Right.
when the world bends to you, when you
Mm.
finally have the attention of the people that you're seeking, will you
Uh-huh.
drop the mic?
Will you drop
Or
the
are
mic?
you
Oh.
ready? Are
Mm.
you ready? Are you ready to say what you got to say? You
To
got to
hold
stay
the mic.
ready. Okay, hold it. Look, I don't care if
Are
it's
you ready
shaking,
to
just don't
hold it?
drop
Right.
it.
Just don't drop it. I
Okay, don't
like
drop
that.
it.
I
This
like
is your
that.
chance. I think it was Eminem that said you only get one chance to blow. Okay, so
Woo!
go ahead and do it. I'm also reading Pray. This is by Pastor John Hanna.
Okay.
And then of course my own book, honestly, it's called 365 Days of Loving You. It's so
Mm.
interesting, yes, I wrote it, but sometimes I'll read it back and be like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Or I need
Yeah.
that
It's
reminder.
very therapeutic,
Yeah,
going through that
yeah,
journey of writing and then reading it back. It's still therapeutic,
it is. It
what you
is.
expect to others to get out of it, you in fact get it for yourself as well. Hmm.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. And so everything I listen to isn't hardcore religious based. I do have like comedians and people like that I listen to and or watch, but all of the
Yeah.
people that I mentioned, I definitely follow them on
Hmm.
social media. And then Marianne Williamson is also one that I absolutely love. So
Okay. So, you gave us quite a bit regarding your journey. You
yeah.
so many layers to you, right?
Oh my God,
Uh,
yeah.
for the viewers, for those that are joining us, thank you for everyone that's tuned in right now and will watch this broadcast later. But I do want you to share with the viewers, for those that have the desire to change the narrative, what advice would you give them?
Do it. But I know then the
Be
question
like
becomes,
Nike and just do it.
yeah, just do it. But then I know then the question becomes, what's it? And so then
Right.
and I think that the doing, when you say do it, it's take the step,
Take the step.
and so when you take the step, then it's sometimes the other step doesn't appear until you take the first step,
That's true.
and so it might be, okay, if I want to change the narrative, figure out what you want to change. What are you trying to change it to?
Mm-hmm. That's
What
true.
narrative are you changing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then model the people that have done it. There's
That's good
nothing
right
new
there.
under the sun.
There's absolutely
So
nothing new
I'm
under the
telling you,
sun.
they can't do it exactly like you. We're all very unique,
Mm-hmm.
but you can model after somebody who's gone where you want to go, right?
Right,
And so
exactly.
that's the biggest piece of it, is I think is to make the decision that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to change something,
Right.
figure out specifically what you want to change,
Mm-hmm.
and then model the person
That did
that's
it.
at least gone in the direction that you want to go.
Mm-hmm. And that's being intentional.
Yeah,
That's being
back to that intentional.
intentional. Yes, absolutely. So just such a wealth of knowledge. So
Yeah,
I follow your journey. I have the pleasure of being connected to you and other different facets of life. So
absolutely.
it's just been a pleasure. But how do we connect with you? How do we stay up to date with all the latest and greatest? Brandi Iberia, Saved in the City
I
Christian Network,
know. Ooh,
Single Talk, 365 Days of Loving You. The list goes on.
it really
So,
does. And I'm going to be revamping my website pretty soon. But
okay.
the two websites that I'll give is the one for Luminosity, where you can really connect to all things to do with, because Luminosity actually is the umbrella under which Saved in the City resides. So if you
Okay.
get connected to that, you can find me and anything connected to me there. So that is www.luminocityent.com. Again, that's www.luminosity, LUMINOCITY.
Okay.
ENT.com, and you can learn more about the services that I offer. You can connect to my podcast on there. I do have a podcast called Marketing with Black Girl Magic.
Oh, wow.
And you can connect with that. You know, that's really everything to do with marketing. It's coupled with that particular site. And then with Saved in the City, just follow us on all platforms at Saved in the City, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you can visit the website at www.savedandthecityintl.com.
How do you keep it all together? How do you keep all, I mean, you're clearly have built an empire, right? And it all started from a blog.
It did.
Viewers, keep that in mind. I mean, it started from a blog, and look where Miss Brandi Iberia is at right now. And you have so many different areas, so many things that you're tapped into. How do you keep it all together? How do you know,
it really is. You know, you don't see, I didn't see this when I took the first step. It's going to go back to that step. You take the first step, and then it's not going to be 12 steps revealed. It's just going to be in the next step revealed. And by the time you get to the 12th step, on that level, God has provision. He has a Darlene Beck that says, I got you on Single Talk.
Exactly.
You know, or the amazing Saved in the City crew. I got at least 8 people working to make sure that's running and flowing, you know? And so of course that requires of me, you know, to be able to teach and lead and guide and all of that, you know? And then the other thing that makes me keep going is because I'm not satisfied where I am. You know, you gotta have, so that's how do you keep raising the bar? You know, because once you get to the level, it's like, okay, but this is good. I need more. So that's going to require more. And so the other aspect of that is realizing that more, especially when you're tapped into the Father, while it does have something to do with you, it's his vision downloaded on the inside of you. So it's his capacity to carry it, not mine.
Exactly.
If I was to carry what I'm carrying on my own shoulders, I would collapse under the weight of it.
Yeah.
I would collapse under the weight of it. It's too big.
You definitely need God to put his super on top of your natural.
Come on, say that.
To carry it. You
got to yoke yourself to the Father. His yoke is easy. His burden is light. The moment I start to feel the weight of it, I've let go. I've somehow unyoked myself, and I got to check in and see where I'm at. So it's being tapped into the Father. It's making sure that I'm never super comfortable on one level, you know, and then also not being afraid to delegate and to trust people. To be able, that's the hard thing, to be able to come in, and that's been a work in progress. That's only been the last 2 years that I've been able to move into that.
That's absolutely awesome. What I heard in that is faith is in the first step.
Come on.
Faith is in the first step. You know, I think I shared this with a sister of mine, and we talk about, you know, seeds falling by the wayside. You talk about those downloads. You know, to me, those are actually seeds that God has given us to carry forth, to manifest. And when we just sit still, we let them fall by the wayside, right? That's just what I feel.
No, exactly. Some fall by the wayside. Some fall, you know, in the vines and get tangled up, right? And right, all of these different things. And then we get mad because we're like, well, how they prospering? You ain't used the one seed. I can't trust you with one seed.
With one seed. Wow, that's deep. Man.
Okay.
Well, it has really been a pleasure. It has really been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Miss Brandi Iberia. I know you are truly busy, and I really appreciate you sitting down to have a conversation with Setting the Bar during conversations with bar setters. I truly consider you a bar setter. You have truly set the bar by changing the narrative in different areas of life. And through your example and through your light, I know that you are encouraging others and showing others to walk in that as well. I'm inspired. I'm encouraged. So I truly thank you for imparting into me, just being an example that, like you say, connect with somebody where you want to go. There's nothing wrong with that, to you know, follow after a model. Yes, it will be different, you know, because we're all different. So
can I throw this in real quick? And then I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but when you said that, it just something came up, because I was at the leadership conference with Bishop Jakes, and one of the speakers there, John Hope Bryan, said, you hang around nine millionaires, you will more than likely become the 10th.
Come on,
okay,
now.
You hang around with 9 folks in media, you're more than likely going to. So you got that circle piece is a big part of it, and important. So absolutely taking that step and then seeking out where the people that have gone where you want to go.
Right, it never be what I've heard of saying before, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, you're doing
if
yourself
you're the smartest in the room, you're the wrong room. So never be intimidated by anyone's knowledge, glow, status, anything like that. That's the devil's setup. So to stop you, get around people, get where you want to be, get around it. Okay, get around what you want to be. I really love the words that if you don't see it, you don't see it, and you won't see it.
Yeah, but you won't see it, period.
Okay. So, but I'm getting ready to see something I haven't seen. That's what I'm getting ready to do.
Oh, wait, don't give me the shouting.
Yeah, so let's see if we have any questions. I just want to acknowledge again the viewers that are on here. They are, God is leveling me up. Yes, Rissa, he sure is. Continue to promote and, do what God would have you to do. You are where you are because of what you have spoken. Come on now. Yes, the power is in our tongue. That's Bible, right? Let's see. Some are saying so true. You can have it. You just can't have it your way. Absolutely. God says the desires are, well, at least that's what he told me. The desire is mine, but the details belong to him. So again, thank you, Ms. Brandi Iberia, for joining us. Again, you can follow Setting the Bar LLC. This segment will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, please search YouTube, Setting the Bar LLC. You will see my lovely face. And you will know you're in the right place. So like, share, and subscribe. Connect with us on all social media outlets, Facebook and Instagram. And it has been a pleasure. Stay tuned for next month. We will have Miss Oma Rensola, The Voice, June 19th, 5 p.m. right here on another segment of Setting the Bar Saturdays, Conversations with Bar Setters. Thank you. I'm Dr. Darlene Beck, and it's been a pleasure. Bye. Oh no. Whew, okay, stop streaming. I'm about to end. Wait a minute, stop recording.
Okay, listen, you hold the smile like.